The Mike ever.
8-6. In 5, 4.
Take away the first half of this game, and the news on Eskimo quarterback Tracy Ham has been good this season. He's been playing with poise and confidence that belie his tender age of 26. The Eskimo tradition of excellence at quarterback once included Matt Dunnigan. In his first year in the CFL out of Georgia Southern, Tracy Ham watched Dunnigan and Damon Allen lead the Eskimos to a Grey Cup victory. After a year of backing up Allen, Ham got his chance to start and looked from the outset like he'd been doing the job for years. He takes advantage of everything the CFL has to offer, including the chance to throw bombs. Last year, he set the CFL record for rushing yards by a quarterback and was rewarded with the league's Outstanding Player Award. They used to say when Tracy Ham gets some experience, look out, but they've been looking out ever since he began playing. And prior to tonight's game, we spent a few moments with this CFL star. Tracy, this is your chance on big-time network TV to tell us honestly, did you have 5 years in another pro league under an assumed name before you came to the CFL?
No, Scott, I was fresh out of college, right out of Statesboro, Georgia, from Georgia Southern College, and from there straight to Edmonton. And I've been in Edmonton going on my 4th year now.
And it's really just your second year as full-fledged starting quarterback for the Eskimos. How do you explain how quickly you've caught on to the Canadian game?
Well, I think it's just a case of the system I was in college, the system that I was in. When most people think of it, they think of the option-type quarterback, which I did a lot of, but we also threw the ball downfield quite a bit. And also the people who were in Edmonton before me were guys that knew the game. Matt and Damon really knew the game, and they really helped me out a lot.
Well, the options at quarterback are simple. As you know, you either run it or you throw it. And I've heard it said that Tracy Ham could be the best running back in the CFL.
Well, I don't think I want that title of being the best running back in the league because we have some good running backs in the league. We have some good young guys. Actually, I have one of the better backs in the league in Reggie Taylor. So I think there's more guys in the league that can fill that out better than Tracy.
Well, it generally takes more than one tackler to bring you down.
Well, I throughout college, it was a rule of thumb running the option at times that you didn't let one guy bring you down. But I think as my career progresses, you'll see me go down instead of waiting for 2 and 3 tackles to take me down.
Your success in the CFL in a short period of time has been extraordinary. What's your long-term future in the CFL? You committed to this league for good?
Well, I'm comfortable in Edmonton at this point. I'm under contract for 3 more years, and I will honor my contract. I won't go against that. And I really like Edmonton. Me and my wife have made a home in Edmonton, and so we stay there year-round.
There's a tradition of great quarterbacks with the Edmonton Eskimos. You feel some pressure to keep it up?
Well, I just, when you go to Edmonton, you just feel the pressure of winning. They have such a rich tradition of winning ball games and winning championships there that when you get there, you feel that atmosphere to win ball games and win the big ball games. And so it's definitely a sense of pressure there, but I can just go out and play as hard as I can play and not worry about it.
Well, it's going well so far. Tracy Ham, thanks for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Scott.
We had hoped to have Tracy Ham as our guest on Live at the Half in Ottawa last week, but he was shaken up on the final play of the first half, again late in the second half, and Don, absorbing punishment may now be one of his strong suits because he's taken lots of it from the Bombers in the first half of this game.
Well, Tracy Ham, Scott, has taken some punishment. Stan Mikowicz with 2 sacks in the first half.
Stan Mikowicz has those 2 sacks. They've been getting tremendous pressure on Tracy Ham. Even though we forget, even though he's the outstanding players, he's still young.
Both the Winnipeg defensive unit and the Edmonton defensive unit have been applying pressure. I think Winnipeg has had a little more success so far, though.
Yeah, Winnipeg's got the good defense. They've always had it. We'll see what they do here. We know they James West on the middle blitz, Tyrone Jones on the outside. Look at Tyrone Jones. Use the strength. I mean, Michael Souls is 215 pounds. He lowered his shoulder and just dropped it and then sacks Tracy Ham. That's good defense.
Stan Mikowicz has gotten to Ham twice, and Dave Bavell has also burst through on occasion. And then Tom Burgess on an Edmonton blitz picked it up and dumped the ball over the defender to Ken Winey for the only touchdown.
Ken Winey came in motion. They blitzed the linebackers and a halfback, and you don't blitz Tom Burgess, he'll burn you.
So the Winnipeg Blue Bombers enjoy a 9-point lead as we prepare for the second half. We'll be back right after this.
a lot of people were at least, here is the document that will bring them to the table. This is the potential compromise document. Yet today, you're seeing people running away from the Shari Committee report like it's the dirtiest piece of paper on the table. What happened?
Peter, well, I think what really happened was that the Shari Committee process got a little bit out of control. The idea was that you add on to Meech Lake, you don't subtract from it, but somehow the committee, in order to get unanimity, ended up with these 23 changes, clarifications, add-ons, probably too much for Bourassa to swallow. So if it had been a more modest package, perhaps that would have been acceptable, but now we have a new bottom line established, if you like, for the dissident provinces that's probably too much for Bourassa to swallow.
When it first came out, the Prime Minister was very careful not to adopt the recommendations, just the approach of working through add-ons. But last night I'm told that he went to talk to his Quebec caucus and told them, don't worry, the most offensive ones in here for Quebec, don't worry, I will never sign anything that will humiliate or corner Quebec. But whether he actually spelled out which parts he would accept and which parts he would leave, he's obviously trying to keep as much flexibility as possible.
Quick final thoughts from each of you in terms of what must be on the Prime Minister's mind tonight in terms of when, if ever, he does call that conference. David?
Well, Peter, two things I would suggest. One, the obvious one, the future of the country in this period of unquestioned national crisis. And secondly, his whole political future really very much hangs on this. This is a prime minister who twice in 2 elections made the pledge of achieving national reconciliation. If that pledge can't be achieved, the credibility of Mulroney, the credibility of his party is perhaps fatally damaged.
It looks bleak, perhaps bleaker than it's looked so far in the process, but I'm sure that Mulroney will not give up without a fight. He says that he's heard some interesting suggestions from Senator Murray on how to bring people back to the table, and I still wouldn't be surprised to see a First Minister's Conference called in a week, 2 weeks from now.
All right, I thank you both.
The political wrangling will go on, but the public